before I get to thugging it out trying to make things happen this morning. So yesterday I was saying that if Brent Bear didn't handle his business, then he would really be in a bad situation. And I said I didn't think Brent Bear should have done the interview. And I was wrong about the fact that he did the right thing. He should have did the interview. Because that girl melted down unlike anything I ever seen. Now I don't even feel like Brent was hardcore with her in any way, shape, or form. He didn't really ask any super tough questions. It was standard questions. She wanted to filibuster the interview. He handled it respectfully in a great way. I mean, somebody's over talking you on your show consistently. I mean, he had the right to kind of lose it a bit, but he didn't. And she just, that woman can't handle anything that's not set up for her to succeed. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. And then when you start to see the looks on her faces where she lost her temper and the real her came out doing that interview, that there was amazing. When you saw that real Kamala come out, when her neck rolled in, her chin came to her neck, her finger came up, her mouth clenched, and you saw that damn monster manifest in her face for a split second, I was like, oh no, this chick wicked. This is an evil little broad. And at first I thought she was just dumb. But no, you see it. For a split second, you can see what's behind her and what's there. And that's a wicked little trick. All right. A little wicked little trick pretending to be dumb. Ducking and dodging. But at the end of the day, what we saw last night was if we allow this person to steal this election and they put that woman in office, then we deserve everything we get. If people overwhelmingly vote for that woman after seeing that, we deserve what we get. The destruction, the mayhem, everything else America deserves. I don't think that America's voting for that, though. I really don't believe they are. And I submit to you that if she can't go on Brett Baer for 20 minutes, there's no way that she should be able to go on Joe Rogan at all. And I admit to you guys, I have to do a better job because the video you guys saw about Brett Baer was a section of me talking about Joe Rogan and me calling her a tar baby. And I still stand on the fact that woman's a tar baby. Anybody who touches her gets messed up. The Democratic Party touched her, she stuck to them. I mean, straight up, she stuck to them. And I don't even understand how you would present something like that to the American people. I don't understand how we let that get into the vice president seat. To where if Joe Biden fell down the steps and died, that would be president. I don't understand how we let that happen. I just don't get it. That thing right there, when put under pressure, and I want to explain something to you. When you saw the interview last night and you saw him press back and then her get an attitude and press back at him, that dynamic worked only because she's sitting as a vice president and only because Brett Baer is a member of the media. If it's leader against leader, which is what we should be concerned about, if it's her sitting with Xi Jinping, if it's her sitting with Putin, if it's her sitting with Kim Jong-un, that black woman angry dynamic shit don't work. That I'm speaking, that shit don't work. You can't tell Putin, I'm speaking. That don't work with Putin. That ain't working. You can't tell the head of the Taliban, I'm speaking now. They don't give a damn that you're speaking, woman. And this is the craziest thing. America, even in its fallen state, which we have to admit that it's fallen, we got children being transitioned at 10 years old. People can't define what a man and a woman is in America anymore. There's a confusion about what a man and a woman is. So we can, the basics, understandings of life, we fallen in the basics. But even in the fallen state, there's still a level of courtesy and chivalry left in America. That's not in many other places as it pertains to women. You know, and it fool women. Oh, this person is misogynistic. You are part of the patriarchy, misogynistic monsters. In other places, the men will just smack teeth out your mouth. They got 13 wives. You just heard them be the wife talking too much. They're going to smack the teeth out your mouth. Little boy's going to beat you with a belt and beat you and have a donkey kick you in other places. I mean, and it's truthfully what will happen. And so when you look at that interview and extrapolate it out to her having to have a contentious conversation with the Taliban, or her having to have a contentious conversation with Putin or Xi Jinping or anybody, bro, I don't feel comfortable with that woman being in any room with any world leader dealing with any situation. I from the bottom of my heart, I don't feel comfortable with that at all. I don't feel like she has the ability. I feel like if she was in a room, she would be surrounded by all these other men that would bolster her up. And one of those men, and it wouldn't be Tim Walz, it'd be some general, will be the hammer. And she'll sit her behind there and shut up. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I would see. I'm not comfortable with it all after what I've seen, man. And that was the first interview where she was really under fire, and she wasn't under fire. It's like the goalpost was moved to a position where she would be comfortable, and she failed in that environment. Contrast that to Donald Trump, who's constantly on TV, walking around, talking to anybody at any point in time, answering any question, chin checking people at any point in time, went to the National Association of Black Journalists, chin checked them there, goes anywhere. I'm sorry, that's who I want. I'm sorry. I don't give a damn how many felonies the man got. I don't give a damn how many porn stars the man slept with. I'm sorry, I just don't care. I can't rock with this other thing. It just don't work for me, bro. It don't work for me. I don't see no safety, no security, no nothing at all. I just don't see nothing. I just don't see it. Did you guys see that Stephen A. Smith came out and checked Barack Obama? Did y'all see that Stephen A. Smith, Mr. Basketball, Mr. Fast Talking Basketball commentator that used to be with Skip Bayless, checked Barack Obama? And the funny thing is, he waited. I'm going to give it to him. Stephen was smart. He waited to see how other black men responded. He wasn't the first one to pop off. He waited to make sure that everybody would have his back. Then he popped off on Barack Obama and said, man, we don't appreciate the way you talk to us. You know what I'm saying? I guess better late than never. You know what I'm saying? Better late than never. Now, Stephen A. Smith like to switch sides. One minute he for the right, 1 minute he for the left. Then somebody, I think what it is I think they adjust his pay scale based on his political views. And so when he gets too conservative, they might cut a couple of zeros off of his check. And so then he gets back in line. But nonetheless, this last week was a destructive nuclear bomb week for the Democrats. This week has been another destructive week for them. But they're just crumbling. I mean, and that takes me back to the video I did last night about them replacing Kamala. Somebody gave me $10. Who that is? Jessica Cruz gave me 10 pesos. Thanks, Jesse. It brings me back to what I was looking at yesterday. Like, how do you fix this? Like, just follow me down this rabbit hole. Follow me now, because I'm a red hot pepper boy. Shake it like a dog. Follow me now, because I'm a red hot pepper boy. All right. Watch this. How do you fix this? Let's just be evil and wicked right now. You're on the rooftop. Let's be evil and wicked. Turn my hat around, and let's just be evil and wicked. Moo. How the hell do you fix this situation? The American people are turned against you. You tried to assassinate Donald Trump 3 times, probably 5 times for all we know. We can't hit him because God protected him. We need something to change the narrative, or else we're going to lose. Now, if we go too far, we're going to start a civil war, and we're going to blow everything up. And we got goals that we need to achieve. They got Agenda 2030. They got things they're supposed to do by 2030. I don't think they're on track with doing everything they need to do by 2030. So clearly they got agendas. We being evil, I'm sorry. Let me create a personality for this. We got Liberal James. We got Leroy Klaus. Leroy Suave. I'm going to be Leroy Suave. Yes, this is Leroy Suave. Yes, and I am back to talk to you about my evil plans. Leroy Suave. I am Klaus Schwab's long-lost brother, Leroy. Yes, Leroy Suave. I want you to understand my plans. Kamala Harris is not working out the way she should. So now, me as Leroy Suave, I think we must take her out. It is the only way I can see that we can change the narrative and get the black people to vote for us. With the blacks voting for us and the illegals voting for us, we can win the election. But the black men will not vote for us right now because they don't like Kamala. Michael! Someone go get me Michael Obama. Michael! Come here, Michael. Will you go on the campaign trail, Michael, if we kill Kamala Harris? And then you see the image of Michelle over there with her hands up like this, like, yeah, I guess I'll go campaign. And behind the scenes, think about the conversation that would have to happen in order for something like this to go down. You would have to be 100% on board with some of the most traumatic events that's going to happen in American history. I mean, really think about it. If we all sitting in the room with Leroy Suave and Leroy and them discussing their plans to like rule the world like Pinky and the damn Brain from back in the day, you got to come into agreement with some dramatic events. I mean, just to take shots at Donald, that first dude. Remember the dude that was on the roof that they said the slope on the roof was too high for the Secret Service to climb up the damn slope? Ain't never heard nothing like that. That was crazy. It was a slopey roof. The conversation in the room for that had to be, I mean, you had to, if it had worked, the people who did it would have been part of the greatest conspiracy in history of the United States. So when it comes back around, I can see how Michael, Michelle, whatever you want to call him, I'm going to call him Michelle, just be respectful. I can see how Michelle could be like, I ain't with that bullshit. Am I with it? And I can see why Michelle's like, I'm not going on a campaign trail because maybe if I even get out there on the campaign trail, y'all will bust ahead because I'm already helping campaign, so now all the attention turns to me. But think about it. Whether Michael, Michelle, let me just settle in with Michelle. We're going to call Michael Michelle. It just flows off better. I'm not going to worry about it. Watch it from Michelle's perspective. Louisiana Dub gave me $10, man. Y'all done bought me 2 cigars today, man. Y'all crazy out here in these streets, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. You know how many, I never get super chats, man. I never ask for them. So when somebody give me a super chat, I know God wants you to give me something. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. You'll never hear me ask for them. Thank you. Watch this. So in my mind, I'm like, if I'm Michelle / Michael, and y'all whack Kamala, and y'all slide me into this position of being president, whether I know about it or not, which would make sense for me to be in the room with you when you make the decision, but whether I know about it or not, I'm still a part of the greatest conspiracy in the history of America. And so if I'm Michelle, I'm sitting there saying, hell no. And Barack may be like, Michelle, you know, the blacks not voting for us, and we need you to get out there because you're a man from Chicago, and we need you to help us. I'm not doing that shit, Barack. Well, if you don't do it, then I'm not doing that, Barack. Do you understand what you're asking me to do? You're asking me to be the president after one of the... I'm not doing that. Do you understand the scrutiny that I will come under? You know I'm Michael. Hee. Somebody give me $4. Thank you, brother. Who's that? Lala C. Lala C, that's a lady. I'm sorry I called you brother. Lala, thank you, baby. So For them to make the move that I was talking about is super duper risky. And you got to have balls of steel to make that kind of move. I mean, the very first move against Trump, it take balls of steel to do that. Don't get me wrong. But this other move, to move Kamala out of the way and then slide Michelle or somebody else in, or even Hillary in, boy, you got to have a pair, especially with 2 weeks out from the election. So there's what, 16, 26? 2 weeks out from the election, 2.5 weeks. Somebody was saying it was like 24, 25 days. I don't even feel like it's that long. 2 weekends, 3 weekends away is the election. Boy, you got to have balls of steel to pull that off. If you don't get your behind from over, hold on. You went through too much effort to come fly over here. Hold on. Hey, that's what I thought. All the damn effort and energy you put into coming to distracted me. I have a very contentious relationship with crows. Always have, always will, because people like to use those things to try and spy on you. And anytime I see a crow flies up and just lands somewhere near me and then look at me, it's kind of like, hey, bro, what up? I'm like, boy, if you don't get from around here, whatever monitoring spirit you is, I'm going to ask some angels to drag you to hell and burn off every ounce of life and understanding you ever had on you. All right, watch this. So when you get to the point where the conspiracy and the conspirators have to make a decision and they don't have to live with that thing for their whole life, and under existing circumstances, they can go to prison, that's when they get real. You know what I'm saying? That's when it really gets real. And so, do I think they'll do something to Kamala? It's possible. But you need Michelle or Hillary. Now, if it's up to Hillary will do it. Hillary she don't give a damn. But I don't think Hillary solves the problem. I think the only person that solves the problem is Michelle. And on top of that, I think Obama did damage when he came out and made it actually worse. So they might not even be able to play that card. You know what I'm saying? It might not even be able to play that card. Now, if Obama had come out and everybody got in line, then yeah, I think they would have played the card. Because you think for a second behind the scenes what had to happen, right? You got Kamala flailing with black men, right? And you got all of them behind the scene. You can see Barack walking up. Yeah, Kamala, you got to understand how to talk to the brothers. I understand, Kamala, but the brother's not supporting you. I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to the brothers. I'm going to show you how you got to talk to the brothers. And so he walks his behind out there and started trying to chin check everybody. And then they chin checked him. But had he had that stroke, had he still had that pizzazz, that magical mouthpiece that he used to have, they might have dealt with Kamala. They might have dealt with Kamala. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they might have dealt with him. So I'm interested in seeing. I don't want to see nothing happen to that girl. What I would like to see, and what I pray for every day at 12 noon, is that because they chose her, because they anointed her, they didn't let people vote for her, that she is tied to their waist like a Siamese twin. They got to share breasts. They got to share ovaries. They got to share legs. They got to share everything. The Democratic Party got to share everything with her until the end, like Siamese twin. Because they didn't she didn't get voted in place. They put her in place. And that's the one thing I don't see where anybody, there's a couple of things I would like to see someone ask her. If she goes on Joe Rogan, it's going to be death for her. But I would like to see people ask her, hey, how do you feel about men playing in women's sports? How do you feel about children, having transitioning at 10 years old? And where you stand on those things? Because she's never had to address any of these questions. We can't get past the border with her. We couldn't even get to Lincoln Riley and all the girls who was was raped and killed by illegal immigrants. We can't get to that. More so to get to the deeper things of society. And I want to see somebody answer that question, but since we can't get past the basics. And this is what I didn't understand about the interview last night. Why she just didn't admit she was just wrong, man? Like, who in her corner? Think about it, guys. The easiest thing when Bret Baier says, well, you were quoted saying that there was nothing that you would do different than the Biden administration. The most humble thing would have been to say, you know what? I was caught aback by that question. And I would have blamed my advisor. I'd be like, I've been listening to my advisors back and forth, and they've been telling me, don't respond to this, don't. Brett, can I be just straight up clear with you? There are things that I would do different. I would do A, B, C, D, E. Does that distinguish me from Biden 100%? I don't believe it will. But I do think we made mistakes. And here are the mistakes we made. Boom, 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 boom. And it will be over. It will be over. All of it will go away. But the thing that kills me is it's like there's no humility in those candidates at all. They can't admit that they're wrong. They can't admit anything about themselves being wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yep, True B says she puffed up with pride. 100%, bro. 100% puffed up with pride, but people don't want to see that. People want to see someone who's humble. And that's the problem. But it's easy to be puffed up with pride when you were picked. There was no battle, no debate. There was no back and forth with a candidate to win the nomination. You were given a nomination. And that's the thing that kills me. It's not that hard to fix. And let me stop, because I don't want to be giving nobody no ideas. But it's not hard to fix the problems that Kamala has in perception and how people perceive her. It's just, it feels like to me, it's like someone wants to take a large tube and force it down the throat of America. I think it's called intubation. When they intubate you and they put the tube down your throat, it's like this is a process of intubating America. Like, we're gonna force this down your throat so we can force feed this in your stomach. Because there's no tact to it. There's really not a whole bunch of persuasion to it. It's like they just threw away all the niceties. We're not gonna try and, woo you. We just gonna ram this down your damn throat. And then we're gonna pee down the little intubation tube. I know, I'm sounding like Kevin Gates. I'm not Kevin Gates. But the point I'm making, I'm saying is, that's what it feels like, man. Because there's a better way to do it. And unless, quite frankly, the people who counseling her or consulting her that damn stupid, which I find it hard to believe, that's got to be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Think about what they did with Barack. Barack wooed the whole nation. Even if you think about what they did with Hillary. Hillary still was a process of wooing the nation. Now, behind the scenes, Hillary and them was whacking people left and right, doing all kinds of stuff. She over there cutting up chickens, doing rituals, doing all kinds of stuff. But she still went through the process of wooing the nation. She started wooing the nation when she was up there with Bill Clinton. Bill wooed the nation, playing the saxophone, like he was Kitty G. This trick, hey, I'm Kamala, I'm going to be your president. Well, Kamala, what do you think? Well, I feel overburdened, underbearing, and menstruated by the fact that you would ask me a question. Huh? It was so much so that Brett Baer said last night, I don't. She's like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, I don't know what you're saying. What are you saying? So I just feel like you're trying to force it down America's throat, and that's the mood that the deep state in. They're in the mood for Diddy and everybody. It's like they're trying to Diddy us right now, and she the #1 diddler. All right, I got work to do. Love y'all. Deuces. Hey, thanks everybody who gave me the super chats. I got $24.99. I want you to know I appreciate every one of them dollars and every one of them cents. I really do. May the Lord bless you for blessing me today. Y'all have a good one.